The broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, all wonderful people here on the call tonight. I'm excited to be here. Let me actually, just give me a couple minutes here. I have to turn off my Facebook. I can hear some beeping. So, okay, here I am. Welcome to the call tonight. I have an announcement to make sure I want to share with all of you at the end of the call with Renee Liao coming in Calgary. The date has been changed, so I will finish with making sure that you have the new date. Something came up, and we had to change the date. So, but that's okay because he's still coming, and everything is meant to be there for a reason. So, again, welcome to the call tonight. I truly wish that the material has been giving here has been effective for you, both for your business and as well as your personal life, and being able to deal with some pressure and cope with everything that comes in front of you. So today I wanted to share how to handle failure and the rejection, the part two. So let's get started. So let me ask you, what's the first word that your mother or father taught you when you were just a little baby? Anybody have any idea? Oh, that's not it. So the word is no. Right? Why did mom and dad teach us the word no? Was it because they didn't like us or because they love us? Right? Well, of course, it's because they love us. And well, we hope so, right? So mom and dad knew that at 5 years old, if we weren't taught that some things can hurt us, we could harm ourselves. So the word no is the word they use and ingrain in our mind. So let me ask you another question. What is the only word today in your GWT career that stands between you and everything you want? It's the word no again, right? So the problem with a lot of us is that we have the wrong attitude towards the word no. And I'm going to share the best that I can to teach you that no is good. It's a good thing. It's not bad. So think back when you were a child. Was there ever a time that your mother or father were in their danger zone? Right? I'm sure they were. I mean, at some point, they might have had a little argument, and that argument lead to a fight, and now you have all these vibration and all these things happening. Now it's, when they are in, well, as we mentioned before, when we're in our danger zone, you can do one or two things. So the first one would be you can withdraw, or you can become hostile. And when so if it's, for example, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning, they're both under danger zone. Your dad leaves to work. In lesson which of those two, did he withdraw? Did he become a star? Right? He left. So he withdraw. Now mom stays home. She doesn't see, I'm looking for my words. She stays home. She gets what? She's now become hostile. In fact, here you come, little cute little child. You're reaching up for that, let's say, saucepan, right? Mom has told you once or twice now, don't reach up for the saucepan. But she walks into the kitchen and you're reaching into the saucepans. Now, most of our mothers didn't sit us down and say, oh, sweetheart, come here, sit on mommy's lap. No, honey, I love you. And because I love you, I don't want you to be hurt, and hurt your body. And if you pull and if you reach up to that saucepan and it falls on you, you might burn yourself. Now, darling, haven't been effectively communicating with you, so now I will inflict a degree of pain to your posterior. I said no. And here comes the slap, right? So I'm sure that most of your parents just left the entire paragraph, right? And they just went on to say, I said no. And they slapped. So as we grow up, we start thinking no is rejection. No is a bad, you know, because we go to school, we follow the trend. If the style of backpack on one shoulder is good, that's how we carry it. And if you're supposed to put your hat upside down or backwards, that's the way you put them. If you're supposed to have tight jeans, you wear the tight jeans. Whatever the trend is, you follow, so you can be accepted by your peers. I even remember for myself, in grade 6, I actually dyed my hair. It was the first time, and I was the first person at school who did such a thing. And I showed up at school and people were laughing. I did not want my hair to be dyed anymore. And because my mom actually took the time to dye my hair, she paid for the products. And so now I am between, I want to be accepted at school and I don't want to hurt my mom by telling her I don't like it. So what do I do? Well, I started washing my hair for 4 or 5 times a day, thinking it would just go away and she wouldn't get mad at me for buying and taking the time to do that. So it's like that with our life. We want to please everybody. We want to have everybody accepting us and make people happy. It's a human nature. The problem is that you can't make everyone happy. There will be time where your client won't be happy and they will be using you to release some of their anxiety. Meaning that you actually are fortunate in GWT and in the selling part to be the people that many people get out of their danger zone. It'd be like to teach you if it'd be helping them to get to a better place, right? So I'd like to teach you a formula that if you consistently concentrate on this, when you get rejected, it feels good. So you might actually want to write it down. If you have a pen and paper here, I would always recommend to take notes when it comes to training. So write down the formula. So let's say that we earn $100 for every sales we make, and we'll use that figure, as we have different VDM member from retailer to diamond plus the bonus. We'll just make it simple. So the formula is, you make one sale and you make $100. Now, of course, we operate as a ratio, and a professional salesperson knows the ratio is closing any contact. So if your contact, let's say X amount of people, so you contact X amount of people, how many would you close? That's your ratio, right? So a professional that contact people daily will increase what? The ratio of closing. So here's the thing. If you contact 10 people, and make a note of that, 10 people equal, whoops, sorry about that. So 10 people equals one new VDM. So let's play a little bit with this. So if you contact 10 people and out of those 10, how many will launch them all? 1. How many will say no? 9. Right? Now, if 9 people says no, but you earn $100 for the one yes you got, how much money is each no worth? It's pretty easy math, right? $10 each. Isn't that exciting? Every time you get rejected, you make $10. And what does that do for you? Well, if you concentrate on that instead of hiding from the rejection, you're going to start looking forward to be rejected. I hope I can prove to you the difference with top earner and the average person is primarily just the way you look at it. The thing is that if you look at it as every no means you get $10, at some point you will receive $200-300. It's all about the mindset. And I know some of you are thinking, I'm scared of being rejected. So, as I said before, you might want to write it down. Do what you fear the most. The most no's you get, the easier you will cope with it and handle it because you make yourself do it. So now let's actually talk about the 5 attitudes towards failure. So these are the things I want you to say and learn them word for word. In fact, how about you write them down today and highlight them? Because when you have the words and concept to use this, you'll never see rejection the same way. So the number 1 is I never see failure as failure, but only as learning experience. Okay, so I never see failure or rejection as rejection, but only as a learning experience. So let me ask you, when you show a tour or ask to watch the Live Your Dream video, or even when you go out and prospecting and you get rejected, what did you receive from that? A learning experience. You know how long it took me to actually understand this concept? But actually, once I got it, my attitude changed. I never see failure as failure, but only as a learning experience. Everything from there became fun. So write it down and look at it and review it and know it word by word. I challenge you to that. So number 2 is the negative feedback I need to change the course of my direction. So again, number 1, I never see failure as failure, but only as a learning experience. And number 2, the negative feedback I need to change the course of my direction. Do you realize that's all what rejection is? It's negative feedback that gets you on the course. How many of you had a potential partner that liked everything you showed them? They liked the product, they liked the package, they liked the idea. Did that ever happen? They never give you any negative feedback. It feels like they would start diamond and so much more that they'll do with it. I hope you're following me here. Like, the thing is, every morning us as a human being, we really make a decision as per our attitude that day towards rejection. We can take it personally and have it destroy our day, or we can remove it and keep on going, right? You decide every day. I decide every day. So here's a great analogy. Most of you are familiar with the modern day, like the torpedo. These, the torpedo as its own device inside the torpedo when it's far from excuse me, the submarine and towards the target. What does it do? It zigzag, right? Let's just say that I'm the torpedo. There is the target. I'm far from the submarine. I will start in the water, and because of the current, get off course, but the owner device will kick in and give a no thank you. And now I turn. I head, of course, again and turn back again with a big no thank you. I turn again. I'm being rejected again and again and again, and no, 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 and there it is, another no, and all of a sudden I reach my goal. And poof, that's it. You know what? What would happen if the torpedo took rejection personally? Sounds silly, right? Well, what might have happened? It would have went home, right? You see that? Do you know what we see in amateur when they start entering the danger zone because they can't handle the objection or rejection? Just where they start staying more at home. In fact, the number one luxury consultant hide at home, or they're browsing on their mall, on Facebook. They're hiding from the pain of rejection. Is that what you want to avoid, rejection? How is that going to help you? Is that what you're doing? Are you out there? Are you practicing? Which bring me to actually even before, like, do you know that the same client that wipes you out, destroy you emotionally, you know what a professional do? They will use their negative stimulus to find out a creative way to overcome it and will close. Okay? So the negative feedback, I need to change the course in my direction. Now, the next one is the most important point to keep you moving. So I would write it down as well. Is I never see failure as failure, but only as the opportunity to develop my sense of humor. Right? How many of you had a tremendous traumatic experience wipe you down? You never wanted to talk to that person again. You're feeling so bad, but then when you are doing a couple weeks later, you're laughing about it. You're telling your friend, "Oh my God, you should have seen this guy. Like, he told me, reject me. He said this, he said that. Like, it was ridiculous. He was like, and then now all of a sudden you're laughing about it, right? The key here is to laugh sooner. Really, I'm not sure what it is, but laughing seems to be the thing. Just emotionally remove the pain of the anxiety. So I never see failure as failure, but only as the opportunity to develop my sense of humor. Those of you new in this in this profession, if you laugh every time something goes wrong, what are you going to be doing all the time? That's right, you'll be laughing, but you're going to be keeping your attitude, which is the key, right? And the next attitude towards failure is, oh, there's my little monkey laughing. So I never see failure as failure, but only as the opportunity to practice my technique and perfect my performance. So let me repeat that. I never see failure as failure, but only as the opportunity to practice my technique and perfect my performance. So let me ask you, what do you have every time you show a tour and you do everything you're supposed to do and they don't launch? They're not launching them all. What did that give you? A chance to practice. Most people forget and don't realize that every tour you do and every time they say no, it's a practice. So never see failure as failure, but only as an opportunity to practice the technique and perfect your performance. That makes the rejection not negative, but what? Positive, right? And the next one, The fifth attitude towards failure is I never see failure, but only as the game I must play to win. Do you realize that that's 100% a game? That's all it is, a percentage game. It's a matter of numbers. We see it all the time. The person that sees more people with the possibility of more rejection makes the more money. You know, as I love what Jim Rohn says, a baseball player that bat 300 out gets paid $4 million. $4 million a year, which means he needs 7 time out of 10, right? And I'm sure he forgot all the pain of that 300 rejected ball because in life, it's not the numbers of time that you feel that you fail that counts, but it's the number of time that you keep trying. With that mindset, everyone can become a number one. There are luxury consultants that never had a sale fail out. They never get a no. And I'm sure that you can think of some of those few people. What did they do? They practice and they keep on practicing. So here's a great code. Um, by So yeah, so I'm not judged, but the number of time I fail, it's by the number of time I fail, but by the number of time I succeed. Is in direct proportion to the numbers of time I can fail and keep trying. So think about this and keep the attitude, and you will succeed. It's all about attitude. It's all about mindset. Forensic networker Ramin Mesgarlu always talks about the mindset in his forensic networker. If you're not if you have not received his weekly subscription for his newsletter, please make sure you go subscribe for that. It's amazing. Every time I read it, it's an open light for me, right? And I'm sure it would do the same for you. And talking about the forensic networker, I hope you have your ticket. I truly hope you do have your ticket and you will be coming because, as you know, it will bring you to the place you want to be. You know, it will help you to go over those scarcity, those danger zones, right? Forget failure and go for success. So next week, I am going to be teaching and sharing some of the technique to practice with your potential partner. Some of the key phrase and the minor sequence, I forgot what they're called now, minor, I forgot it. But anyway, it would really help you to realize what people need to hear and what people want to do, like your minor yeses that will lead you to to the major commitment, to the major yes, right, to l'engagement. So it's basically a subtotal of a bunch of yeses, but how do you create those yeses and what do you say and how do you tie it down into your conversations? So that's what I've learned going through the training that I'm going through right now. And I would be more than happy to share with you. And I hope that you enjoy these time because they take a lot of time to put together. Um, in the meantime, they're very valuable for me, so I trust that they are for you too. And as I was mentioning earlier too, Rene Liao is still coming to Calgary. He just had to change his flight, so instead of the 5th, he will actually be flying on June the 12th and the 13th. We will be making the flyer this week for sure. I'm actually sending the email to the corporation, to the company, so they can make the flyer with the location and time and everything. So it is official. It's the 12th and the 13th. It will be at 1711 Vista Road Northeast. That's where we're going to have the tour as well as the boot camp. Some of you have been there before. It's Sandra's house. We will be doing it there, and you're more than welcome to invite, to promote, to put things on Kijiji. Like, everybody's invited. We will actually meet at her house. In the back of her house, she just actually got a conference room, brand new, so it would be perfect for us. So again, Renee Liao coming. Now, as you know, when top earner are coming to the city, this is the best time for you, not just to come and meet with him and pick his brain, but the best way to pick his brain is to put people in front of him and really see what he does and how he does it. So sometimes it's as simple of getting a few friends to come and support you, right? However, whatever, if you're looking for ways to how to approach people, send me a Facebook message, send me a text, call me, email me, whatever works best for you. I'm available. I'm right here for you. I want your success. And let's truly do something amazing with Alberta, and let's build this. Let's do it together, and we can definitely crush it. So this is what I had for you tonight. I hope you enjoy every single part of it. And if you have any questions, just put them down. If have any comments, anything, just go ahead. Otherwise, this is what I have here. I see Tim says a big yay. I'm assuming that's for the forensic, because I know, Tim, you're coming to forensic, so I'm super excited about it. It's going to be a great time as usual, and a lot of learning. So yeah, so if there's nothing else, then this is what I have. I hope you got value of it. My name is Anne-Marie Chantal, and I will see you next Monday. It's going to be a very, very amazing call. You might want to tell all your friends, all your LCs to be on that call. So I will see you next week.